Hello everyone and welcome back to what will hopefully be the final episode of Gridmaster. I've completed all the easy and medium tasks as well as 3 of the hard tasks, so there's only 9 tasks remaining, and some of them are no joke, like a 30-minute Inferno, all awakened bosses, actually getting a purple at Chambers of Zarek, some pretty tough stuff left on the board. But to start out, I want to do Hald Sepulchre, because at the end of the last episode I got 9 to agility, and all I have to do is clear floor 5. Now, I'm not that great with Hald Sepulchre. I can't remember if I actually have cleared floor 5, at least not within time, but this test doesn't require you to do it in time, you just have to clear it. So hopefully I'm not that rusty and I can make it down to floor 5 and just keep trying until I get it. So, yeah, let's see how long this takes. You know, I'm kind of impressed with myself there. I think I made pretty decent times for my first time doing this in a while, and while I didn't do floor 5 in time, I did floor 5, so there's the task. And let's see, took me a few minutes to get past the last obstacle there, but there is floor 5 completed, and that is another task down, and this is a big one because it unlocks all achievement diaries. While the achievement diary rewards themselves aren't very useful, it does mean I can actually claim all the experience lamps, which is going to be useful because this should be able to easily get me to 92 Slayer, so I can start doing Araxor. It only took a single Elite Diary Lamp to get to 92 Slayer, so I think I'm ready for Araxor. That said, I've never fought Araxor in old school, so I'm not really sure exactly how the fight goes, but I watched a quick guide, and I don't know, it seems easy enough to learn as I go. And I think range with the T-bow will be best because, well, masteries make range never miss, so it should work pretty well. Pretty basic inventory, so let's see how bad this is, and how quickly I can get a unique, because this is get a rare drop, not just kill it once. So fingers crossed I don't go dry. Okay, that was really easy. I wasn't expecting to be hard because of relics, but yep, definitely pretty easy. And unfortunately the Venom doesn't count, so I have to keep going till I get a unique. Well, that didn't take too long. There is the Noxious Pommel, which completes the task for Araxor, so let's just teleport on out of here and go claim that reward. I don't think it's going to be too useful now. I mean, it's extra experience for, you know, training all my skills I have left to train. But yeah, there is experience and another task down. Okay, so the extra experience from Araxor is kinda useful because I still got to claim all those diary lamps, which I put on my combat skills, and I have 1 lamp left here, and I believe if I put this into defense, that should be 99 defense. So I don't need to worry about training that anymore, and hopefully I'll get the rest of the attack levels and hit points levels just from fighting things, which are now going to be, you know, 15 times experience. Also, I got the diary cape, but it's a little less useful now that I have the banker's briefcase, so not sure if it's going to come up, but it is another teleport option. It is kind of handy. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I did snag some Arania boots off the smaller Axites. It only took me like 3 kills. They're not that useful, but they might come in handy. So the next tile I'm looking to do is another boss I've never done before, Yama. So normally you'd use melee and mage, but because I have a 2-tick T-bow that never misses, I'm pretty sure that's going to be better in all phases, even for the Judge of Yama that's normally immune to range because it can prayer penetrate. So it shouldn't be too hard, but I don't know, I haven't learned the boss, but I have seen enough fights and I did look into a quick guide. Hopefully I can get the gist of it as I go along. But the reason I want to do this is it not only will complete this column here, but it also gives a very powerful perk for the things to come, Last Stand. So hopefully this goes well, because I do need to get a unique as well, not just a 1 kill. And hopefully it doesn't take me too long to get a piece of Oath Plate or the Soul Flame Horn. And let's see how my first kill goes. Well, that wasn't a very good kill, but it was a kill nonetheless. Also, from what I heard, it always drops a dossier every kill, even if if you do a solo anyway. So, I don't know. These probably won't be too useful, though I think this is actually the one that might be easier to do with a T-bow. But I think I'd rather stick to normal kills for now. Oh, hey. So there's an Oath Plate chest plate. It didn't take too long, only 6 kills, and with that I can claim some really powerful rewards. Also, I did start to get the hang of Yama after that first kill, but yeah, so the first thing I get is, well, the chest plate itself. I think it is a decent bit better than Bandos in a lot of stats, though it seems it's not quite as good as range defense, better in like slash and I think stab. So, I don't know, it might get some use, especially with the Kopesh, but probably not too much right now. I might even go back and try and farm the legs, but I don't think it's a high priority. As for the wards I do get, well, first up is Last Stand. This is just really crazy. I picked in the last league, and it just makes it so if you die, you're set to 1 hit point, you get boosted stats, and you are invulnerable for 16 ticks, but it's on a 3-minute cooldown. But this is so important because a lot of the upcoming things, I could definitely use a little safety net. So yeah, that'll be very helpful. But more importantly, perhaps, is this reward. Not the Sunlight Spear, but the Sunlit Bracers. The spear is pretty good too. It can do a typeless AoE attack that can do a lot of damage, but you have to charge it up, and it's not the best weapon, at least compared to some of the other options like the Kopesh. But the Sunlit Bracers are literal best in slot. They're better than the Zerite Vamps for ranged, and they have decent melee stats too. But they also just double all healing, which is just insane, because it means that just this Shark Butterfly, instead of healing, I think it would be, 20 and 8, so that would double, and you also get the 20% from the combat masteries. So yeah, this is my new best in slot glove that I'll probably be wearing for the rest of the event, even for melee, maybe not for mage, but even then, the extra healing is just so strong. This is starting to get a bit repetitive, but the next tile is a boss I haven't done before. So yeah, I'm going to be working on the Doom. I need to clear depth 8, which is, well, the hardest wave, and I've done, 0 waves so far. So, I don't know, it shouldn't be too bad, but I know it does ramp up in difficulty, so it might have a bit more of a learning curve than the others. I'm just going to be taking the standard T-bow setup I've been using, have the Kopesh for melee, and Demon Bane on a Slayer staff for mage, because I need Demon Bane, and this is the only staff I could find that could autocast it without, like, grinding a Staff of the Dead. So yeah, let's see if I can clear wave 8. Well, that was very undeserved, but yeah, I cleared Delve 8. I don't know, I realized I could just tank a lot of mechanics because they could just kind of out-eat it, and I never even proc Last Stand once, so yeah, why bother learning mechanics? I might farm this boss a bit more. Ooh, Dragon Dart Tips, I didn't realize it dropped that. Because I would like to try and get the Eye of Ayak, and also it might not be terrible to update to the Confliction Gauntlets, but well, I'm probably not going to replace the Sunlit Bracers that easily. But if I do teleport to a bank, I should be able to claim its reward, which is kind of notable because it's the maxed out Avernic Treads, which are the best in slot boots for all style, not something specific to the event, but yeah, it should be pretty strong, mainly for the extra range strength, and yeah, a nice upgrade over the Aradia boots I've been using. You know, for 8 times drop rate, that took a lot longer than I was expecting. But there's my first unique item at Doom. I went all the way down to Delph 34 in my second run here. I think I'm kind of getting the hang of the boss in the sense that I know how to kill it in the event. I probably will still struggle in the main game because I don't have stuff like prayer penetration to just Demon Bane at all. But let's see, what do I get? I honestly can't even see what I get. Oh hey, I did get the Eye of Ayak. That is the item I wanted. So yeah, I probably won't do any more because I probably won't use the Confliction Gauntlets over the Sunlit Bracers, and I already got the Treads. So yeah, but the Eye of Ayak is going to be very good because for some reason, it is actually a 1-tick weapon. Normally a 3-tick should round down to a 2-tick, but for some reason, for magic, it is a 1-tick, which will make it a very strong weapon for magic. And just to demonstrate real quick, yep, that does look like a 1-tick magic to me. I don't know, it's still probably better to use the ranged weapons like the T-bow and the Toxic Blowpipe because, you know, they never miss. But, yeah, the Ayak will be pretty strong if I really need magic for something. Can you guess what I'm going to work on next? That's right, Musfa. So I don't need to do this boss for the grid, but there are a couple drops here I'm interested in. First is the Ancient Icon to upgrade my Ancient Staff, because I don't really have anything better to autocast Ancients, and I think that will come up later. And the other is the Venator Bow, because the next thing I want to work on is the Colosseum. And I think the Venator Bow might have some minor uses there still, even with the T-bow and the Blowpipe and, well, the Ayak. And I don't know, it just seems like a fun little boss to put this gear to use at, besides just going for tiles. So yeah, let's see if I can get the drops there really quick. And there is the final Venator shard. It was funny because I got like the first 4 in like the first 10 kills before I even got an ancient icon. Then it took me a bit to get the final one, but I think that's everything I'd want from Musfa. Okay, so I think it's time for some redemption. In the last league, I picked Varlamore, and I fully intended to do the Colosseum and fight Echo's Soul. Unfortunately, I kind of just put it off, and then the league was wrapping up, and I struggled and just kind of gave up. But now in Gridmaster, one of the tiles I have left is to defeat Soul Heredit. And it's a very important one because it unlocks Specialist, which will be kind of important for some of the other remaining tiles. But this time, I am much better equipped to do the Colosseum. For one, in the last league I picked Last Recall, which I think was a very good relic. It was not very helpful in the Colosseum though, over something like Banker's Note, which meant, I had more limited supplies. Also, the way I did my masteries meant I was going to the Colosseum with tier 5 melee and tier 3 ranged, instead of having tier 6 and all like I do in here. So, with all the buffs I have, including stuff like the Sunlit Bracers, which, I had to complete the Colosseum to get last time, I think I'm in a much better spot to actually clear the waves and make it to Soul. And once I make it to Soul, I'm a lot more confident with how much healing and how much damage I have that I will be able to take him down. So, yeah, I still expect this will be a bit of a learning curve because, well, given how tough the waves were in the Inferno just to get to the Major, I'm not expecting to be super easy here. But I think there's a good chance I will at least make it to Soul. Yeah, I definitely cheesed that a fair bit. I don't know, I was able to tank a lot of the waves and just kind of brute force, and did the same there for Soul. But there is a Quiver, and also pretty much full Sunfire. So yeah, I don't think there's much reason to keep grinding Calo, and that would also be nice if I ever do anything with the Sunfire Spear. And also, I should now be able to claim a couple nice rewards. The first is Specialist, which will go crazy with the Khopesh because it makes it only cost 20%, have double the accuracy or 100% more accuracy, and gives me 15% back when I kill an NPC, so you can just kind of Khopesh spam. Oh, can't do it in an instance. Let's get out of here then. But yeah, so you can just kind of spam with the Khopesh and just spec a lot, which will be very good for farming some other bosses. So if I go here and claim that. And the other big thing this unlocks is I now can claim this column for the Emperor Ring, which is just an insane ring. It will make the T-bow so much better with 15 range strength. So, yeah, that's going to be replacing the Ring of Suffering. So, yeah, pretty big upgrades. And now I need to decide which one I want to go for next. I spent a bit debating which tile I wanted to go for next, and I think it's going to be Chambers of Xeric. It doesn't matter too much if I do Chambers or Theater of Blood first, because they both give a Mega Rare Scroll, and honestly, both Scythe and Shadow don't really matter too much, because T-bow just works on everything, and it's generally going to be stronger. If anything, Shadow might make more sense for Chambers for Ulm, but I already got the Ayak, and I kind of want to use that somewhere, and not just immediately replace it. And the Scythe might beat out the Khopesh, but the Khopesh is just so strong. So I think I'm just going to try Chambers of Xeric first, because we'll unlock the top row for exposure here, which will probably help with Theater of Blood more than either Mega Rare helps in Chambers. As for the raid itself, I am not super familiar with this raid. I've done it a few times. It's not my favorite raid, but considering I was able to brute force through everything else, I think it shouldn't be too bad. Well, that was another very easy tile. First raid, and I got an Arcane Prayer Scroll, which is completely useless to me, but it completes the task. So now I can claim another Mega Rare. I'm not sure which one I want to go for, honestly. I'm thinking probably the Scythe, just because it's probably going to be more fun in Theater of Blood than the Shadow. But more importantly, I get Exposure, which honestly I don't think is the coolest relic, but I don't know, it seems pretty decent. 50% chance for specials to do 50% more damage, and with spamming... Can't unlock it in an instance. But with spamming the Khopesh, now that I can do 3 or 5 specs in a row. Sorry, tired. But now that I can do 5 specs in a row, this should be very powerful. And next up is Theater of Blood. Normally you wouldn't try and solo this, but I hear with Gridmaster's power boost, it's not too bad, so I'm at least going to see if I can do a solo first and hopefully snag a purple, and if I don't have luck, I might try with a team. So it turns out when you have an unlimited shark and unlimited potions, it makes content like Theater of Blood pretty easy, although the double healing is also a big part of that. But I don't know, it's really making me want to consider a banker's note next league because, yeah, this has definitely been pretty nice. But here is the purple, and it is... Okay, good, it was the Avernic. I really was hoping to get an Avernic so I could upgrade my defender, and there is the task, which, oh, I did remember this time, I can't claim the rewards in an instant, so let's head out of here real quick. But, yeah, so I got the Avernic, which will make the Kopesh a little bit better, even if there is a better reward I can get later on. And if I head over here to the bank, I should be able to claim my rewards. So the one for Theater of Blood will be the Shadow, but it also unlocks this row for Rune Savior, which makes it so my spells and staves no longer need any runes, which honestly is not that big of a deal when you already have 95% rune save, but I guess I just don't need to bother with Rune Pouch anymore, and yep, all the ancient spells are now available. I guess that's actually probably a little annoying though, because I only can filter by the runes I have. Oh well. And now I can also claim the last Mega Rare, the Temekan Shadow, which, I don't know, will be fun to play around with, but does not seem very strong this event. So following that clip, I ended up taking a bit of a break from Gridmaster to work on some other things, and I totally planned on coming back to finish up these last two tasks, but a fair bit of time has passed now, and yeah, there's only like a day or two left of Gridmaster, and while I do think I could finish these final two tasks in that time, I honestly just don't really feel that motivated to do it, and I think this is where I'm going to call it for the event. Part of me is a little disappointed that I didn't end up finishing them, because, you know, I ended the last league also not finishing some of the goals I set out for. But rather than, you know, being disappointed that I didn't finish the entire grid, I am more just satisfied of how much I did end up doing. You know, I did Doom for the first time. I did actually go and finish Coliseum. I did Yama. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with the event overall. And while I could grind out the Inferno, I don't know, it just takes a fair bit of time because, well, it's going to take at least around 30 minutes, and then if I fail, it's going to take more. But the plan was go to Inferno, then I can get the Amulet of Monarchs, the Thousand Dragon Ward, as well as the Infernal Cape and the Guardian Relic. Then with that, I can ground out Vardorvis with the Thunder Kopesh, and then get the Awakener's Orbs, and then I can just get the Awakened bosses. Honestly, I don't expect it to be too difficult with all the power buffs in Last Stand. There's a cheese shot for Whisper, and I think I'm confident enough with Leviathan that I hopefully could make it in at least a few attempts. But, you know, this would just take time that I just don't really have right now to be grinding out just for the sake of getting a few more points. If it was something like the Dragon Trophy, I probably would, but I don't know. Always next event, maybe even next league, I'll finally take on the Inferno or some more of the Awakened bosses. But yeah, I'm happy of how far I came. Kind of wish I did get the last few tasks, but oh well, maybe next time. But yeah, sorry for the bit of a disappointing ending, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the series regardless. And until next time, goodbye.